What's up, Polytopians? Got another replay commentary here for you today. Yeah, sorry about the game sound in the last one. I know it was a bit louder. There wasn't really any way I could fix it in post, I don't think, though, or at least none that I know of. But I've got another live game I played a few days ago here. I actually played Vengir in this one, but using the new spooky skeletons skin they've got. Yeah, they're not a very strong tribe, but they are very fun to play. Well, they're great on tiny maps. This map's not that good, and we spawn... Yeah, this map's a little bit too big for them. And we did spawn quite far away, so... He definitely has a tribe advantage over me in this match, I would say. Zebasi, on the other hand, Zebasi is a very solid tribe, probably 3rd or 4th best in the game. Just behind Imperius and Bardo. And I would say Kiku is probably better than them as well. But they're still very solid. Right, so I went for a city level up first. I was fortunate enough to actually be able to level up my city. As Vengir, that's not actually a guarantee, which is why they're usually pretty weak, I would say. Over here, Zebasi player has got... I'd say he's got a fairly good spawn. He's got quite a lot of farms. Zebasi doesn't actually have increased farms. They simply have a reduced spawn rate for every other resource, which inadvertently makes them have more farms. And of course they're guaranteed to in the capital as well. Right, so he's going to... Yep, this is all good. City leveling. Everything looks good so far. He's making more exploration units than I am. I think exploration units are important, but you want to be careful of not making too many, because every star matters in the early game. I think he built a few too many. Right, so I've prioritized... I'm trying to prioritize city leveling as well, since I know I'm up against an eco tribe. But obviously I'm going to be on the back foot in that regard, because Vengir is not really an eco tribe. Well, they're pretty much the exact opposite of an eco tribe. Completely focused on early game aggression. Right, I'm going to get riders out to help with exploration, and my opponent is doing the same. They're a lot better for it than warriors are. Especially, well, when they're exploring through the fog, they're basically the same since they can only go one tile, but when they have a lot of catching up to do, that's where riders shine of warriors. Alright, they're taking workshops too early in the game for an explorer, even if it could uncover a village. I don't think at any point taking one so early. As you can see, my opponent's on the... Oh, yeah, see, okay, that's the first mistake I would say. Coastal cities are they're a pretty good target. I would say that's the only time I would consider city walls. But if you haven't met me, if you haven't met your opponent yet, then it's not really, there's not really any point. And if you are going to consider it in any city, I would say Zawa over here is the only good candidate, since that's obviously going to be closer to me. Since clearly I didn't spawn down there. You can see the Vengir terrain is below you. So yeah, I would say that is a mistake. The stars would be very handy, especially turn 8. It's still very early. Having 5 extra stars would be a big deal. You'd be able to level up both of these cities over here. That would add an extra +2 stars per turn that you're missing out on. Yeah, missing out. Yeah, so that's definitely the first mistake. But since his economy is still ahead of mine, it shouldn't hurt him too badly. Maybe those walls will pay off later in the game. We'll see. Right, as you can see, a lot of these further out Vengir cities, they're not looking too hot. I had to buy 2 techs just to level that one up, and it doesn't have a room for a 3rd level. Right, he's moving. Oh yes, you can see. So the extra warriors he's built has paid off. He's been able to explore a bit faster than me. He's already has more cities. He's going to be taking a 5th soon. Continuing to level up. And once again takes those city walls. This time I don't hate it as much that time, since that city's a good target for walls, but I'm greedy. I still would have taken the stars there. Right, so I move forward, I encounter him. The reason even though, like, obviously that this hit doesn't accomplish anything, the reason I hit there and moved back is I didn't want him to meet me. Even though technically my unit was in vision, because it's not at the start of his turn, he will not get the stars from meeting me, whereas I just got them. So that's why I retreated with that rider over there. I'd say it's definitely worth it. Stars matter a lot in the early game. Border growth in the capital. I usually just go for population. There were a couple of resources there. The capital is definitely a good candidate for expand borders, since it has so much more growth available to it than other cities. Right, we're both continuing to explore over here. I'm going to be claiming my 5th city this turn. I got very lucky with how many mines are there. I know Vengir has increased spawns for metal, but it's not 100% guaranteed. So this is pretty fortunate. This is going to allow me to get some late game growth potential, which Vengir doesn't always have. So yeah, that should allow me to hold my own. Then I'm going to getting some workshops out over here to get some levels up. It's very expensive tech I'm having to buy to level, but with Vengir you do have very limited options. Okay, so he's already... I'm not sure if he got archery in the ruin or he bought it. I'm assuming he got it from the ruin, because I don't think there's any point buying it so early. Especially when you already have riders. They'll do the job just as well. Right there, I've acquired mining, now going to start leveling these cities up. And make use of the forge technology Vengir starts with. It's allowed me to finally level that useless city up over there. Right, so he still hasn't actually met me yet. Although he knows where I am and he's technically seen me, he has not got the stars from meeting me yet. Right, and he's going to continue leveling his city. I think he's going to put that incredible windmill down soon. But yeah, I'm assuming he's going to put it down this turn. Or he got an explorer. That explorer could... it was a pretty good explorer. Now, because at least he's finally met me now, and also he has a lot more information about this village here. Okay, again, I don't want to keep doing this, but I don't think city walls are usually that good, because you want to be the one on the aggression, especially if you're first in score. It's very likely you're going to be the one going on the offensive, and city walls will not help you with that, whereas extra stars will. Yeah, I mean it's not like he's missing out on anything, but. Those 15 extra stars he could have, those 3 city walls that he's taken have accomplished nothing so far. And that's 15 extra stars he could have had. That would have made a big difference. There's a lot you can do with 15 stars so early in the game. And over here, I definitely disagree with this decision. I know technically it gives you a better potential to customize house spot, but that's so far down the line. The game it probably won't reach that point. As population saves you a lot of money, but you get it for free. This city didn't even have that many tiles. It doesn't have tech to make use of them. That would have been an instant giant though. Maybe he would have had to harvest that fruit or put down he could have just put down another lumber hut. And not only would that be an extra star per turn already, but while investing less money, you would also get a giant out instantly. So I definitely prefer population most of the time. Coastal cities are the only ones I consider it, like the more frontline one he has there. Right, I'm not aware of the fact that he's met me yet, so I'm still trying to stay out of his vision range. That's why I keep backing away with my units. Finally getting some good forges down here. Gonna stop churning out giants. Vengir doesn't usually get to make so many giants, so it's quite unusual to see them so early. I'm going to be making use of that monument to finally level up, get the second level up in that city. Right, over here, going to get a second giant out. These are some really sweet sawmill spots, not sawmill, forge spots. Right, he's continuing. He must be very confused as to where my units are. I mean, obviously, there's no point me pulling back, but I'm not aware of the fact that he had an explorer over there. Right, he's finally going to get his first giant out. He could have had it several turns ago if he had taken population, though. So that's. I generally say getting giants out faster is more important than getting more giants in the long run. Because Polytopia, and a lot of other turn-based games, tempo is very important. The sooner you get it, the more impactful it is. So I would definitely think you should consider population growth most of the time. Yeah, that was a good city to get population growth. I couldn't really expand borders there. Okay, and I know a lot of these replays I haven't been taking roads nearly early enough, so I wanted to make up for that this time, getting those roads down. It's really annoying that this city is just one population point off leveling. It's quite painful. Right. I could consider expand borders in the city, but like honestly, a lot of Vengir tiles are empty, so I don't end up taking it. Alright, so I think I was thinking he had just met me now, but obviously that isn't the case. Over there, is looking like he's going to be able to get that village, and I won't be able to stop him. Oh, actually, maybe I will. I think because he hit that warriors. Yep, using the power of roads is why roads are so useful. But obviously, since he has a unit there, I won't actually be able to take it, so I think I end up just retreating with these. Yeah. And I'm going to try and use roads to move the giants as far forward as possible. Yeah. I'm hoping I'll be able to put pressure on his city next turn. I can see it continuing to churn those giants out. Yep, gonna be able to get 2 more. So I'm already up to 4. I think he still only has 1 so far. I'm gonna start training some riders as well. Yeah, see, if think about that though. If he had got these giants out earlier, they'd be a lot closer. It would be much easier for him to protect his city over there. That's why the speed of giants is more important than having more giants, I would say. That's the main advantage of Barda, is not that they get more giants than other tribes, it's that they get their giants so much quicker. Right, yeah, he's getting another giant, finally. Oh no, oh, there, he bought mathematics. Of course, are we ever going to see a replay where somebody doesn't build catapults? Maybe one day it'll happen, but today is not that day. Okay, I'm gonna move forward with all these giants. I think, yeah, I go for the kill with the swordsman because it's about to find a veteran. Yeah, as you can see over there. And it's not even a defender would be able to save that city now. He needs a giant. See, if any city needed city walls, it would have been that one, but it's not leveled yet. And over here, I'm going to go for the kill. I'm not sure what he got from that rune. See, I could have started. I didn't know that he didn't have a way to stop me, so I ended up just retreating it. I was trying to play it a bit more safe over here. But yeah, obviously, if you go for the greed of like keeping the rider on the city, sometimes you'll get it and sometimes you won't, and then you'll just lose a rider. So I was trying to play a bit more conservatively because obviously I don't know what's over there. Yeah, and then I'm not really sure why I connected up that city. It didn't accomplish anything. And he actually, yeah, so he's doing ship damage with archers now. Obviously archers don't actually do that much damage to giant stuff. Oh yeah, oh actually, never mind. He could have stopped it, see. Oh yeah, and he's also playing safe, that's good. It's tempting to sit your rider on the city, but if you have no way of protecting it, there's no point. It's just going to die, you'll lose a rider for free. Oh, and I think I lost another rider over there that had just explored his city up there. Right, now he's going to get level. I'm assuming he's going to take him. See, I agree with a lot of this. Yes, I agree with this explorer. He's making some good decisions now. It's not. So it's not as bad as it could have been. If it had stepped on that mountain, it probably would have revealed my last 2 cities. But he has a lot more vision of me than I do of him. See, now he's starting to train catapults in numbers. See, I don't like this playstyle because he was already at an advantage. He's ahead in the game, so you shouldn't start going on the back foot and like putting yourself in a defensive position with catapults yet. Catapults are something you get as a last resort in defensive situations to abuse terrain. He should have been, if he had got his giants out, he could have easily gotten his giants out faster than me. But then he could have like sent them in, and it would have been him putting pressure on my cities rather than the other way around. Right there. The swordsman was still able to one-shot the archer. I didn't actually know that. He's a 16 health veteran. Right, and yeah, I'm continuing to move for my giants. And I have no idea about the catapults yet, but I'm going to next turn when they start pelting my giants. It's true they do good damage to giants, but again, I'm still not a fan of them. Oh yeah, and finally, it's unfortunate I had to pay 10 stars just to get that last population point, but that city was just really annoying me. They were so close to a giant. Okay, now he'll probably be able to kill this giant. Oh. See, I would say that's a mistake. He could have fired both catapult shots and then killed with the giant. Instead he's just setting up to get all of his catapults in position. See, I'm not a fan of this style. Speed is important in Polytopia. Doing things a turn sooner can make all the difference. So playing so passively, I don't think it's a good idea. Again, he's taking city walls. There's no way I can possibly siege that city. Ground units would have to go through all this terrain. He has more coastal cities over here than I do, so he should be able to take control of the water before me. It's just a waste to get the city walls, I think. Okay, I'm continuing to... I've managed to win the war for this city in the other corner, which is good because otherwise, if he controlled both corners, I would have been kind of screwed, to be honest. Once you have that much... once you can attack your opponent from that many sides, and you've basically got a full surround of them, it's very hard to make a comeback. Right now I would still say the game is slightly in his favor because of his higher city levels, but it's turning around because of the way he's played. Because he's played a bit too passively. He's giving me a bit too much freedom over here. Obviously, my ships are about, I don't know, he has full vision of me right now. And he's got a lot of catapults, so I'm going to take quite a beating next turn. But as always, continue to get giants out. It's the most important thing to do in the mid game. Get giants out, put them in battleships. That's how you win games. But okay, yeah. I was very surprised to just see that many catapult shots. Because obviously I had no idea they were there yet. But this city is very difficult to siege now that I've taken it. He's only got one land tile that he can walk forward from. Right, let's look at the city count right now. I think it's actually quite even, or maybe I have one more city than him right now. I'm just going to level up this new city I just acquired. Get an explorer here. Yeah, that's a pretty good explorer. If he had stepped on that mountain, that would have been nice, but it's all good. All in all, that was pretty good. Actually, I should mention, I think I just took a workshop without thinking in Zaya. That was obviously a mistake. I wouldn't have been so surprised by those catapults if I had taken Explorer. There was obviously a chance it went backwards and uncovered that like one cloud tile and then just wandered off into the corner. But it was definitely a risk I should have taken, because I could have had a vision of his cities much earlier, a turn or two. So that's a pretty big mistake from me, I would say. Obviously this is live, again both of us are gonna it's pretty much impossible to play a live game without making mistakes, but that's still definitely a mistake that I made over there. Okay, I'm hoping that... Well, I'm kind of like overloaded, since I don't want him to completely destroy these giants. So obviously this is a target over here, this giant. But if he directs this catapult over here to kill it, then he won't be able to kill my giant over there. So I'm kind of overloading the catapult with targets. It has too many things to shoot, so it can't shoot all of them. That's a tactic that's often used. Well, no, there's a chess tactic with a similar name, but it's not the same thing at all. Okay, and over here. Yeah, I'm taking a bit of a beating. I was feeling pretty bad at this point. I was like, oh damn. Because obviously if I hadn't recognized the catapult threat, if catapults reach a critical mass, they can be impossible to stop if there's no way for a knight to reach them. Knights are pretty much the only way to stop an overwhelming number of catapults. Okay, he's going to level up his cities here. I think he's going to get in the water now. He's probably going to put a port... Oh! See, what's really the point of this defender over here? If he had put a port down and gotten his defender in a boat and then also got a giant out, that was definitely a better use of his stars, I would say. Yeah, I think he wanted a catapult over here, but again, this is too much reliance on catapults. It's okay to use them in small numbers. They would be a nice support for a giant army, but again, I also think archers are just better support for a giant army, and I think he should have focused more on his giants. If you play too much against a bot, you'll come to overvalue the catapult, because bots, they don't know how to work around a catapult. They don't know the counterplay they need to do. They're not really a fan of using knights. Often they don't really adapt to the way you play, so you'll think catapults are a lot better than they are if you play too much with the single player. But in multiplayer, a lot of opponents are quite adept at dealing with catapults, so you should definitely try not to rely on them too much. And they also just drag the game on. It's generally not a really fun way to play. Riders, knights, archers, these are all much more interesting units. But I also think battleships, they're not particularly fun to play with, but they're too overpowered to ignore. Controlling the sea in Polytopia is absolutely essential. That's why, and giants are the best unit to put in boats. That's why it's so important to get them out quickly. You either push with giants on land before your opponent has giants, or you put yours in boats and get giant battleships out before him. I would say those are two very important things to do. That's why a lot of people like to play dry lands as well, but since battleships can be annoying to play against. But over here, he's continuing to set up this wall and try and slowly chip away at Zeb. This is a very passive way of destroying my giants. He could have done it a lot. He would have lost more if he had charged all in, but he would take it faster. And I would say taking heavier losses, but to get one of your opponent's cities faster, is probably worth it. because losing a city is a big deal. And then it would be easier for him to push into my other cities, so... I can't say I agree with this. It's a clash of playstyles for sure. But all in all, I would say playing passively is not the way to go. I was able to kill a couple of catapults over here. Oh, and I'm actually able to siege the city as well. I think that was a bit of a mistake on my opponent's part, not seeing that was possible. Even if he's able to kill that giant, he's going to lose some stars for it. Also, there was a distinct possibility it could have been a trap. For all I know, there could have been catapults there ready to kill the giant. But I think I was kind of calling his bluff here. I didn't think he had enough firepower to kill it. And even if he did, he would have lost stars, so it's not the end of the world. Obviously, that sometimes it won't always work out though. It was a bit greedy of me. But I think it was worth it. I think I'm going to take population here as well. Obviously, expand borders could have potentially gotten more than one giant out of this city. But especially since we're already at war, stars are so important. And so, being able to get a giant out for cheaper and quicker it's definitely the right move here, I would say. There's no time for expand borders and invest extra money into a city. When every star matters right now. We're fighting on multiple fronts, and we're both stretched for resources. He's able to get another giant out, but unfortunately these giants are pushing the catapults into harm's way. They should be a bit further back, where I can't reach them. And yeah, as you can see, he was unable to break the siege. And now that I've taken the city, I will be able to giant. Even if he kills that giant, I'll be able to giant push another one out, and it'll be hard for him to take it back. And he's also given me a way to reach him. Before, it would have been hard for me to push into this land area, but now I have a foothold on his continent. Well, I guess it's not really a continent since it's lakes; it's all the same land. But the point is that I'm going to have a foothold in his area, which is going to make it much harder for him to defend, since he has to cover more than just one choke point now. Obviously, he's got this little warrior wandering down there, just kind of ignoring him for now. Yeah, I'm going to take archery too now, since archers are very good at sniping catapults. I'm going to continue to chip away at them. Every catapult... See, this is the thing. The catapults are so fragile, and every catapult lost is a lot of money lost, so... This is quite bad for him, I would say. At this point, he's still... It's not over yet, though. He could still quite easily break me with these catapults. If he's able to take either of these two cities... If he's able to push down there, if I overextend and he's able to take the city... or his push succeeds in taking the city, I could be in trouble. Since we're fighting, there's a war on 3 fronts right now. There's a naval battle over here. There's him sieging my city over here, and me trying to siege his city over there. This was a crazy game to play live. It's so hard. Like, obviously, I can't blame my opponent for all his mistakes, because obviously, fighting on 3 fronts is not easy. I was real stressed playing this. They're always a lot more fun looking back on them. It's a lot more relaxing, but in the moment it was crazy. Yeah, obviously, and not having all the information, you always assume your opponent has more stuff than he does. It can be quite intimidating. Wolf, yeah, so... I was actually trying to set up a little trap over here. If he had moved this giant onto the city... I left the city open, but if he had moved the giant onto the city... I would have then moved all my units around it, surrounded the giant, and popped out another giant, which would have instantly destroyed his one. It's a cool trick you can do. If when you giant push a unit off the city, if it has nowhere to go, it's completely destroyed. I think it's a cool little feature, and it can actually be a useful tactic for destroying your opponent's giants for free, if they're not aware of it. Right, he's getting ready to. Alright, I tried something here. I thought if I could... Obviously this wasn't going to work. I tried blocking his resources so he couldn't try and push out. Obviously, he's got a ton of catapults there. I can obviously see that. But if his catapults have to kill... they have to kill these boats now, so he can push a giant out. And that means that they can't fire on my other giants. So that was my thinking in doing that. Also, I was able to knock the health off one of them. And then I'm able to... Luckily, I'm able to liberate the city from him. That would have been if he had taken that back and he was successfully able to take this one. I would say he would have been in a really good position. But right now, I'd say the game is definitely going in my favor. Also, I had a feeling there were more catapults over there, so I moved this giant battleship forward and I was able to snipe one. I'd probably seen the rocks coming from the fog. I'm not really sure why that warrior moved backwards. He should have probably gotten in a boat. I think maybe he's getting ready to fight this warrior. Who knows? Well, I really should, but I guess I can't really remember what the point of every move was. Yeah, okay. I'm continuing to train up a bunch of land units just to toss them in boats now. There, he's able to... Ooh, veteran catapult. Veterancy doesn't really matter on a catapult. They're so fragile. They still die in pretty much one hit anyway. Yeah, he's okay. He's able to kill that giant. And he's going to push out another. See, I went on the offensive here. That was a mistake. Pushing into catapults is always a mistake. Usually in situations. This is why they do so well against a bot, and why a lot of people think they're more powerful than they are. Because I pushed in with a lot of units, the catapults were able to kill everything. Now I'm on the back foot over here at the top. He's got 3 catapults and 2 giants now, and I just lost a giant and a bunch of boats. So that was definitely a mistake by me. Oh. See, it seems like he actually... That might have been a misclick. I think he actually destroyed a build... Yeah, oh! What's going on with that? He destroyed a building in his capital. Which has actually knocked some income off those 2 cities. It's very odd. I'm not sure why he did that. Okay, over here. Yep, he's finally moving in. Oh, but you see here, the trap is sprung. Watch this. Oh, this is so satisfying. Surrounding all the land tiles it can be pushed to, and then leveling up the city, taking the population. And here we go now. Super unit. Boom. Destroyed his giant. It was a very nice move. I really love that. That's a feature in this game. It's so cool. It's little things like that. They're just so fun. Polytopia is such a great game. Right, I'm gonna... So now since... I think now he only has 1 giant pushing in. I had assumed that he was going to be unable to take the cities in the middle. I had pretty much won the middle front, and I have a battleship and he doesn't, so I was... Considered these 2 fronts won, so obviously I can't win on every front. That's just not possible. So I was then planning to just play defensively around the city. I'd overextended. I'd made a mistake on this side. If I played defensively here and then tried to win on the other 2 fronts, that was how I was planning to continue this game. Because yeah, I think my opponent realized that it was on a back foot here, and a comeback would have been difficult at this point. So he ended up resigning. Again, yeah, it's good. It was a good game. I'm very glad I was able to get a win with the Vengir, because that's normally very difficult. But Vengir is... with the new tribe skins out, I just wanted to play them. They are very fun. It's fun to mix it up and play all the different tribes, even if... When you play multiplayer, most people are going to pick Barder, and it's very difficult to beat Barder with Vengir, so... I'm glad my opponent picked a different tribe. I don't think this would have been possible if he was Barder. And, it still wouldn't have been possible if he had gotten those giants out earlier. That was definitely his biggest mistake, going for catapults. Don't force yourself into defensive play. If you can go on the offensive, if you can be the one on the offensive going for the attack, it's always a more comfortable position to be in, so I definitely think that he should change up his playstyle a little bit. Well, I can't say for sure, because I haven't really tried playing defensively. And it will draw the game out anyway, which I prefer. Fast-paced games are always more fun than long, drawn-out games with walls of catapults. Alright, peace out, guys.